When I first put these in my ears, I thought to myself, that's a lot of bass. And then I thought to myself, these are gonna suck. Luckily, I realized shortly afterwards that you can go and alter the EQ settings through the Amazon app to suit your individual tastes, which is good because my individual taste isn't quite the same as your Dr. Drake's or whatever it is you kids are listening to now. So that's it. I dropped some of the bass off, I increased some of the treble, put them back in my ears, and then this happened. Can I speak to them? What happens when I speak to them? We'll get to that in a minute. The most important, most crucial factor at this price point is when I stick them in my ears, do my ears think it's party time? And the answer to that question is, these are probably the best earbuds I have ever stuck in my ears. And I don't say that lightly, I hate everything. I have been really hard on these things. I have been comparing them to a pair of over-the-ear headphones that have been used in studios across the world since the 1980s. They are that good of a pair of cans. Not those kind of cans. These earbuds, the low-end clarity in these things equals those headphones. I can hear all of the detail of the kick drum and the bass guitar in brilliant separation without any of that warmth being sacrificed. It still has all the lovely, warm, pleasing sounds that you expect from the low end, but with no loss of detail. The mid-range, if you're listening to guitars or violins, is almost as clear. So the clarity is lost a little bit around the vocal end of the mid-range, but only in certain musical styles. I found that if I was listening to jazz, it was great, it was crisp, it was clear. If I was listening to heavy rock music, there was a tiny bit of lost clarity. But again, I am comparing to proper studio monitor headphones. The upper end had shimmering highs, the hi-hats, the cymbals, all cut through nicely without sounding harsh. These little guys have beautiful clarity and detail, but all the warmth and presence that you'd expect from a decent set of headphones. All you guys are interested in is whether or not the she that should not be named aspect of this works properly. So let me tell you, it doesn't matter. You're never going to use it! And here is why. The first thing you do is you stick them in your ears, you walk out of your front door, and you go, what do I normally get her to do? And the first thing you'll think of is, what's the weather like? You're outside! You know what the weather's like! So then you think to yourself, switch my lights up. You're not at home. There's no point. So this is the point you realise the only thing this is good for is adding to my shopping list and starting musical playlists. So you think to yourself, okay, I'll add something to my shopping list. Everybody's watching you. Literally everybody. And you don't want to do it because you're not a child. You're not a teenager that speaks into his mobile phone like it's a walkie-talkie. Kids, seriously, the earpiece is at the top. Stop doing this, it drives me mental. So because you're not a child, because you're a fully grown adult, you will not bring yourself to ever talk to them when anybody is watching. So I did this, I sat there at my desk in the office and I've got music playing and I think to myself, I'm gonna skip a track. I'm gonna do it. And I look around and my boss is there looking at me like that. Go on, do it. Do it. We're all judging you. Seriously, everybody in the office is just they know you've got them and they know they're just waiting. They're just waiting for you to look like a moron and you won't do it because you're a grown-up. So, I'm kidding, please don't beat me up in the comments section. I know there are loads of reasons you might want to have she that should not be named on the move. First one is household chores. You're doing your ironing and you want to start playlists and skip tracks and pause and stuff. Control your home. Perfect for all of that stuff. When you go to the gym, you're not that important. Nobody cares what you're doing. When they're running on the treadmill and they've got their own headphones in, no one's going to notice you're talking to yourself like a freak. It's fine. The third one is on your bike, but you're losing one of your 5 senses and you're probably going to die. In case I haven't made this clear then, the AI aspect of this has been implemented flawlessly. If I am in the busy office with everyone yammering around me, she never accidentally hears her name. If I'm in the same busy office with all people yammering around me and I say her name, I look like a moron. But she hears me every single time. If I then cycle home with all the wind rushing past the microphones, she still hears me about 95% of the time. Secondly, if you get bored of speaking to her and looking like a moron, you can speak to Google Assistant and look like a moron instead. All you do is hold down on the side and then it starts Google Assistant, and bizarrely, all of that stuff works brilliantly. There is even some cross-pollination between the two. I can actually ask she that should not be named to navigate me home, and it will load up Google Maps and I'll get the instructions from Google using Google's voice. The two seem to actually be communicating properly. Battery life is below average, I would say. For something of this price, you would expect between 6 and 10 hours on a single charge. These things are giving you just 5. That is probably plenty for most people going into an office and using them on and off throughout the day. The charging case gives you 3 charges worth of electricity, so you can actually put them back in the case, get them charged up again, pull them out and use them. You'll get about 2 hours of charge out of 15 minutes of charging. So the actual case is pretty good, the earbuds themselves below average. Comfort-wise, physically speaking, you can pretty much forget you're wearing them. Mentally speaking, you can pretty much forget you're wearing them. And it's terrifying. You do not want to lose these things because they cost you quite a bit of money. At this point, you're going to stick these horrible little cheap looking ugly rubber band things on them that stick them into the top part of your ear, which is great for making them stay in your head, but not so great for not making them look like cheap, skanky, horrible, cheap, skanky products. A big factor in the price tag is the active noise reduction. This stuff is brilliant. If you've never heard active noise reduction before, it's weird. There are little microphones that are listening to the outside world, and then it does some magical science to make those frequencies not reach your brain. I don't understand it. Someone in the comments section is a know-it-all, and they've copied and pasted Wikipedia as if it came out of their own brain. Well done. I'm very impressed. It's not perfect. You will never find a decent set of headphones or earbuds that are perfect in this range. They are only able to block out certain frequencies, and it's usually the low end. So things like airplane noise and air conditioning, all that stuff gets filtered out somehow, and you can kind of hear people's voices, but only like the top end. It's really strange, but when you use it, you'll suddenly think, this is perfect for being on the plane, or ignoring my children and my spouse. So the gestures are pretty much completely customizable. You can double tap to skip track, or double tap to start the voice assistant, or double tap to play and pause, or you can hold to do any of those things, and you can do exactly the same thing on the left earbud. So you've got a choice of 4 different things using those gestures, which is awesome. The only thing they haven't included for some reason is volume control, which is ridiculous. So annoyingly, if you want to change the volume, you either speak and look like an idiot, or you get your phone out your pocket and turn the volume down. So pass-through mode takes all the sounds in the outside world, listens to them through the microphone, and passes them to your brain. Right now, I actually feel like I'm listening to a recording of my own voice. It is really weird. Not my voice, the thing it's doing. You're never going to use pass-through mode, ever. Here's why. When your boss tries to talk to you and you think, I'll enable pass-through, just give me a moment. No, hang on. No, sorry, just give it. Yeah, no, no. And she's going to be there going, just take them out of your face. So you take one out of your face and it pauses your music and you think, why didn't I just do that in the first place? This thing has a sensor on it. It knows it's not connected to your face anymore and it pauses your music. How clever is that? And better than most of its competition, if you want to listen to just one earbud, you can just press play again and just listen to one earbud. So you're never going to use pass-through mode, but having this little sensor on here means you can pause music simply by taking one out of your ear, have your conversation, put it back in again, music starts back up. Genius. Amazon makes shiny things that want to die. The pointy little idiot is just waiting to poke my eye out. If she isn't scratching me, she's scratching herself. The scratches came out of nowhere. I mean it. The case is already scuffed after just 2 days of being in my pocket. It belongs in my pocket. It's supposed to go there. Why is it already scuffed? And the earbuds, they're no better. They're scratched from my fingerprint. My finger has managed to scratch the earbuds in just 2 days. What are these things going to look like in 6 months' time? And it's such a shame because it's my only complaint. They sound so good that I can forgive the 5-hour battery life, but the way they look is kind of important to a lot of people, so it's really important that I point it out because it's probably going to bother you. Me personally, I don't really care that much what they look like as long as they sound amazing, because that's what they're for. As long as the functionality all does what it's supposed to do, I don't care if they look like garbage. Unfortunately, in 6 months' time, they're gonna. If you've got any questions about anything I've not covered, just let me know in the comments section and I'll do my best to answer it. If you want to disagree with me down there and call me names, feel free, I don't care. I'm right about everything. It is really good and I do completely recommend it. It is worth the money, but not if you're the sort of person who cares about them getting scuffed, because they're gonna last 2 days before they're scuffed. That's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. That will tell YouTube's algorithms it was a good video and more people should see it. If you want to see some more of this guy, hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. If you ding the bell, that lets YouTube know you want to be notified when Paul Hibbert does some stuff. These amazing people are my patrons, and I say it every week, they are the best people on this earth. I can't thank them enough, they make these videos a possibility. If you want to be one of those guys, you can do that at either Patreon or buy me a one-off beer at PayPal, and either way, I'll love you forever. This is my social medias. If you want to do the Facebooks and the Twitters and the Instagrams, come and hang out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. And my boss is looking at me like that going, go on, do it. Speak to your earphones like a freak. You can't! You cannot do it. It is impossible. You look like a baby head. Baby head. Does it work properly? Why are we doing this? I'm gonna do it anyway. Damn it. So I'd say the charging case is above average. The actual... Kids, by the way, the earphone piece is up here. Stop doing this. Seriously, stop doing this. Stop it.